So what's up, y'all? I'm just going to do a quick little update video on this 240Z. Because it's taken, a little bit of time between stuff to figure out the wiring. I'm just going to kind of show you where I'm at. So I think we talked about it a little bit in the last video. Just going to use this race car switch panel. All the power is going to come into the dash and catch the kill switch. From there, it'll run to this pretty much master electrical panel for the ECM, where it'll power up the ECM, start the engines. I've got these, I don't have them labeled yet, but I've got these switches for the lights. All the illumination in the cars will be on one switch. A blower heater motor on the second switch, and a single speed wiper on the third. I've got, to the LS engine, I've got a oil sending unit, Datsun sending unit, Datsun coolant temperature sensor unit. You want to wire into the stock gauges. This little guy reads voltage and kind of supplies charging for the USB ports. That little red LED indicator light is going to be for the mill light, and I'm just going to show you guys kind of how I got it wired in. So, like I said, from the kill switch, power is going to supply pretty much all the switches here. So that was that master switch there. It'll toggle power to the push button start, which it's got its own little starter relay that came through this. I just zip tied it here just to have it, centralized and all compartmentalized for, to keep it up with it real easy. If there's a problem with the starter circuit, it will be right here. As a matter of fact, it runs through per GM style on a purple wire. That's the one wire on this dash harness that I'm not going to put on a connector. So this purple wire will run through the firewall and all the way to the starter. It just eliminates issues potentially with any kind of connection on that one wire. You want a really good strong signal for that. The rest of these toggle lights, which it will be consistent through the whole car for a brown wire, pretty much being all the illumination. So it's going to illuminate all the gauges, low beams, headlights, tail lights, park signals throughout the whole car on that one light switch. This gray wire will supply a relay trigger for the for this little unit here, for the fan / heater. And this blue wire will provide like a trigger for the a single speed wiper motor there. So I'm going to run one of those wires for power, just a single intermittent speed, or a single speed for the medium speed for the wiper system. Pretty much it. That wire there is just going to be a dedicated wire going all the way to the dash harness for a good voltage reading on that meter, and also to supply that USB ports with power. I've got to run one more wire for my dash, or my gauge power rather, and a tack signal, and that'll be it on the dash. So that's pretty much the complete harness. And I'm going to run one more dedicated. I've got a dedicated ground, so you can't ground these things enough, guys. I can't really express that. So one dedicated ground straight to the heater. I'm going to run another ground wire straight through this entire dash and ground out the voltmeter and that's it right there. So it'll ground out the switches and the voltmeter. So that's going to run all the way back through the dash. Just get a good ground. You see on these things a lot of times people just terminate grounds wherever they feel like a good ground is, and that can be faulty. And it can also, have a lot of areas to have to look into problems. This is very simple. I went through and pin for pin checked my LS swap harness, make sure all the signals are going where they're supposed to be going. Dug out the wires that I need to use just for the mill light, provides a ground signal to the mill, engine light, tack signal that will be using a Dakota Digital tack conversion box to run the 240Z tachometer, and ECM for the fan. And when you're wiring your car, guys, these little, you see these little cheap pieces of paper, or cheap pieces of tape, it pays dividends, just to label these things. That's probably not going to last forever, but at which point when everything's working and I've got a good schematic for the car, before it's put together, like the interior and everything, I'll label and diagram everything and where it's going. So another way that makes troubleshooting a lot simpler is my battery power runs through this 1/0 wire to the starter, straight to the starter, and then off that it comes to this hot block that will pretty much give all my constant 12 volt to everything from that one source. So I know it's going to be a good source of power, and troubleshooting will be easy. Also, instead of running 5,000 wires to the battery, I'll have a ground wire that terminates to this ground block. I'm going to run that along to this bolt here. That bolt is bolted through some 1-inch tube and fabricated frame rails, and also a steel transmission mount. So that's going to be a really good chassis ground, and it's going to star ground and terminate all my grounds in that one block for for a really good ground system. Like I said, you don't want to go chasing grounds in every little bolt hole, that's going to get corroded later and have trouble. The battery itself is grounded right here on the strut tower, so it's obviously going to have a good electrical system flowing through this car. And I just can't express that enough, how important it is. But from the constant hot block, will supply power to the fuse box. Of course, it's going to get its switch power from these wires. I've still got to, terminate those, but from the fuse box there, it's just kind of a cheap little Amazon harness. It'll supply power to that box, which is 6 relays in there, 2 fan relays, a heater, HVAC relay, and 2 relays for the headlights. So that's everything relayed in the car. And then pretty much from there, it's just lights and brakes and really simple circuits. So it's just taken a while to kind of get back to this and work on it. So I just want to kind of give an update on where the process is on it. And the next long video that we shoot will be hopefully have all the wires terminated on this vehicle and getting ready to start the engine, because we have everything to crank this car. It's just about getting the small stuff put together. So it's back with you, and I appreciate it. Until next time.